and should be seeing a red line across top. Seeing the red line. All righty, bam. Now for the book of the face, and it gets its own billboard. Maybe up eventually. I hope real soon. I'm not seeing one. Got the Facebook action, but no Facebooklius. Oh, there we go. All right, first things first, bam, boom, and then, well, wait a minute, I'll just do that. Do the title block first. The Sunday evening Islam. I got an S in there. I better get an S in there. S-H-O-W. All right, looks good. And now for the description block. Kabiptel. Host. Reichardt. Salazik. Alrighty, now we can go to start broadcast. Bam. All right. Well, let me swing a camera around so we can see me. See me, feel me, touch me. Okay, hopefully something will be coming up there. Let's go over here to the audition computer and see what's up. First, let's... Boom, boom. Hey, they took the thing all the way down. That was pretty cool. And let me get the... Okay, New tab. I don't need new tab. I want old tab. Oh, shucks. Ah! That's okay. 7-day forecast. Let's go up here and do a update on this. www.WEA National Weather Service. And it does a presto converto. All right, now we got California report here. And winter, winter snow advisory? Nah. Gale warning? Yeah, that looks to be gale warning. Small craft warning off the north coast, Cape Mendocino down to Santa Cruz. Then along the central coast, more of the same. Some of this printing leaves something to be desired. Dense fog warning for the valley this evening for the San Joaquin, and winter weather advisory for the Sacramento Valley up into the Siskiyous. Yeah, we're getting some winter weather. And winter storm watch or, well... Yeah, could that be it? For the North Coast. Oh my, coming out of Alaska, definitely winter weather warning, storm warnings, heavy storms coming, that whole Bering Sea. So they're generating up storms up there. Good. And So that's good to report from there. Looking at Alaska and Central Alaska, winter weather advisory for Central Alaska. So good. It's good and cold up there, and it's storms are brewing. So it's being good early December weather in Alaska, and affecting the West Coast in a very positive manner. And okay, now we got the local stuff. And out at Stockton Airport, as of 7:55 p.m., it's fair with 47 degrees. Humidity looks to be at 83%. Wind is 5 miles per hour out of the west. A barometer is at 30.17 inches of mercury. Dew point at 42 degrees. Visibility at 10 miles. Wind chill looks to be at 45 degrees. And let's scroll down the page some. Freeze warning for tonight. It's going to be partly foggy, then patchy fog through the night. Low looks to be 31. In the morning time, we're going to be getting burn off and mostly sunny during the day, but with a high of only 52. Monday night, 20% chance of showers with a low of 42. Tuesday goes up to a 40% chance of showers with a high of 51. Tuesday night, showers likely, 60% chance, a low of 45. Wednesday, 70% chance of showers with a high of 50 degrees. Wednesday night, 60% chance of showers with a low of 43. Thursday, chance of showers, high of 55, and then Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low of 40. And we can shrink this back. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Bam. Okay. Got things going on here at the KXVS.org. And coming up this Friday night, December 7th, at the Stockton Civic Auditorium. Got a lunch during the day and a dinner in the evening time that you can get. It's a free admission. Tamale dinners, $10 each. There's live music. So it's going to be going quite a bit. 3 hours during the day, 11 to 2, and then 5 to 8. Live music, photos with Santa, fundraising raffle, and dancing. And so it's El Concilio, Navidad, and El Valle to benefit the El Concilio Holiday Food Basket Program for families in need. So attend it if you can. Sounds like a real good time coming up. We have Raising Cinderella's 2018 Holiday Craft and Vendor Fair. That's going to be December 16th at the warehouse from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And Ingrid and Connie have something to do with that. So if you have crafts or you're a vendor, and that's, that's a good thing. Give Ingrid a call in the 209-227-0724. That's Ingrid concerning Raising Cinderella's Holiday Craft and Vendor Fair. She's at 209-227-0724. Chavez High School's having its 11th annual toy drive for Chips for Kids, San Joaquin County. That's in association with the California Highway Patrol. And this coming Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., don't blow it like I did yesterday morning and get up and think, I have nothing to do. It's raining. No, you have something to do. From 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the toy drive for Chavez High School. It's at Wally World, which is just up the street, on Holman from them, up at Hammer Lane and Holman, whereas there is Wildflower in Holman. Donating a new unwrapped toy. Toys can also be dropped off at Chavez High and CHP office Stockton. And so Officer Katsakian at chp.ca.gov for a website to go to. No phone numbers. Also Patty Rivera at privera@stocktonusd.net. So that's for the toy drive. Coming up this Saturday at 8 at Wally World. So take a new toy in the wrapping. But it'll get to kids in need. Kids would appreciate it. All righty-us. And that's, if you need a hall for an event, get with our buddies, Fraternal Order of the Eagles, Hall 83 at 1492 East Bourbon Street. And Bourbon Street tees right into West Lane, about a quarter mile north of Alpine. All righty. Hey, we got sponsors. You can be one too. And let me reach down here and hopefully get the sponsor book. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, we got 8th, ooh, my. Already looks like about 8:37. Here at the KXVS.org. And our sponsors are Hotel Furniture Liquidators, 1648 North Shaw Road. Furniture for your home and family. The nearest cross street is East Fremont, just east of 99. Books for your home, for your family, for friends, for Christmas. The Miracle Mile Bookstore for Hanukkah. 2210 Pacific Avenue, and Doors Book Recyclery, 2310 Pacific Avenue. Plastics for your home, for your business, can be had at Custom Plastics and Signs, 326 East Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. They print signs, stencils, video and boat graphics, T-shirts and business cards. Yes, printing. And they make stuff out of plastic. They do fabricating. They'll make sell you raw plastic. That is sheets, rods, and tubes. That is Custom Plastics and Signs, 326 East Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard in Stockton. If your computer's on the fritz, give Millennium Computer a call at 209-922-1879. Hardware, software are repaired. Computers are brought up to full speed. Give them a call. Millennium Computer Repair, 209-922-1879. Habitat for Humanity Restore, everybody's favorite hardware store and building materials. New stuff arriving daily. Furniture, appliances, gently used. Building materials, HVAC, electrical, paint, cleaning supplies, furniture, building accoutrement, windows. It shows up there. It's amazing. Give it a try. 4933 West Lane, 4933 West Lane, 100 yards south of March Lane. That is Habitat for Humanity Restore. Tender Donuts, we bake fresh daily at 1304 East Hammer Lane. Chandra Sam and Siv Sam. Tender Donuts, we bake fresh daily, open at 4:30 and at 5:30 on Sundays till 6 p.m. Leaders T-shirt printing in Lodi. Get your T-shirt printed or get a business card printed. 500 East Lodi Avenue at Garfield. All righty-us. Our next function for young adults And there's activities, workshops, music and entertainment. Info is going to be at 725 North El Dorado. That's the Teen Impact Center. And that's going to be coming up on the 20th or the 29th. Yeah, it's going to come up on the 29th, last Saturday of each month, and that's going to be over at the Teen Impact Center. And that'll be mid-morning to mid-afternoon, well, noon to 5. Really good things we do. You know, bring the family. We're community-oriented. It's community radio we're doing here. We're a community organization, Peace and Justice Network. And so we want all the cultures to flourish here. All righty. We have the Sunday Night Islam show coming up for you, and we're going to get right to it. It's on continuing on Surah 4. And there's a billboard I got to put up for that. 018-12-02, comma. And now, Sunday Islam show. Okay, here we go. All righty. We have 8:43 p.m. here at KXVS.org, starting in 3, 2, 1. Good evening, world. It's time for the Sunday Night Islam show with your host, Richard Slezak, coming to you over KXVS.org. We're going to go over to the big desk and we're going to get on into Surah 4, get right back into it. Yes, Sironi, Dr. Tony. Do a little bit of headset change here. We got our microphones up and going. I hope. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're all brought up high. And let me go get some scratch paper here. I had a show in here earlier this evening with my buds. And so everything going okay? Hey, it looks pretty good. And got my cup of coffee here and had me, See, I was used to being able to do the shows early in the evenings, but we got other people doing other shows here, which is a good thing. Which is definitely what I want. I don't want to have to do it all. That'd be exhausting. No one could do it all. And it's community radio. That's what we're about. And, developing talent. We can't pay for it, but they can come and develop. Like me, can start at any age. So come and have a good time. If you have a heart for radio, come on down. Got a heart for the community? Come on down. You want to entertain? Oh, how about this? Do you want to inform? If you want to inform people, I got it right here. We're media. We got ourselves a monthly newspaper. We got a radio station. So come on down. Develop those skills as a journalist. In other words, come and share facts. And that takes some discipline. But boy, it makes for a better world. Yeah, I'm big on facts. I was at church this morning. Now I missed my DCC meeting. To my fellow Democratic Central Committee members, I apologize. Okay. Yesterday, got lazy. KXVS. Show log. Sunday evening Islam show. And that's for DC2 2018 8:43 start. And we're doing Surah 4, Yowie, and verse 105 start. Because we read to verse 104 last week. And we're going to be doing, as is familiar with you. Oh, let me check another computer. Oh, it just did a wander over. But last night we had kind of a fritzy thing happen over here on the YouTube. Okay, that looks to be all right. Got to keep an eye on that. Okay. Is it the same lines across the top? I'm not seeing. There's one thing still scrolling, but I'm taking a long look at it, and it's not the same. So I got to come over here, and I'm going to flip a switch. With our informing portion, we're trying to explain Islam in its own words and build a bridge to it. How do we get along with Muslims? Well, we know about their religion. Might not accept everything about it, but at least we know. And can learn from it. It ain't all bad. Some people might have disagreements with it, but there is wisdom and there is the advocacy of doing good within it as a Muslim. All righty. Gonna mark the time. And page 95, we're starting it out. Okay, a reread of 105. And we reveal to you the scriptures with the truth that you may judge between mankind by that which Allah shows you, and be not a pleader for the treacherous. Verse 106, and seek forgiveness of Allah. Surely Allah is ever forgiving, merciful, and plead not on behalf of people who deceive themselves. Surely Allah loves not one who is treacherous and sinful. They seek to hide from men and seek not to hide from Allah. He is with them when by night they hold discourse displeasing to him. Allah ever surrounds all that they do. Ah, you are the ones who pleaded for them in the life of the world, but who will plead with Allah for them on the day of resurrection, or who will then be their defender? Yet whoso does evil or wrong, his own soul then seeks Allah's forgiveness, will find Allah forgiving and merciful. Whoever commits sin commits it only against his own soul. Allah is ever knower, wise, but whoever commits an offense or a crime then throws the blame, in parentheses, on to one who is innocent, has burdened himself with falsehood and flagrant sin. But if it were not for the grace of Allah and His mercy to you, O Muhammad, a party of them had resolved a mischief to mislead you, but they will mislead only themselves, and they will hurt you not at all. Allah reveals to you the scripture and wisdom, and teaches you that which you knew not. The grace of Allah toward you has been mighty. And, oh my, hey, keeping an eye, oh, hey, it is working. Okay, we got the Facebook and YouTube is working. I'm going to mark that, 854. FB and YT working. Good. Okay, continuing. We have a footnote here. There are good lessons to be learned from the incidents in connection with which the above verses were revealed. A Muslim named Tuma bin Uyara from the tribe of Zafar was suspected of having stolen not amount, someone's armor. When he feared detection, he planted the stolen property in the house of a Jew where it was found. The Jews denied the charge and accused Taima, but the sympathies of the Muslim community were with Taima on account of his nominal profession of Islam. When the case came for trial, pressure was exerted to convict the Jews, but Islamic impartiality prevailed, and the case seemed to be turning against Taima. Realizing that his punishment was imminent, he fled and left Islam. Ooh. That's no reason to leave your religion at all. You know, that's just, you sin, you sin. Yeah, nominal's right. Nominal is right. Continuing. Oh, by the way, pardon if that sounds like commentary, that point of agreement. Well, I'll try to keep that to somewhat a minimum. Verse 114, we're now on page 95, and I do need to check my engineering here. There is no good in much of their secret conferences except in him who enjoins charity and kindness and peacemaking among the people. Whoso does that, seeking the good pleasures of Allah, we shall bestow on him an immense reward. And whoso oppose the messenger after the guidance of Allah has been conveyed to him, and followed other than the believer's way, we appoint for him that to him which he himself but turned and expose him to hell, a hapless journey's end. Footnote: the above verse also refers immediately to the episode of Taimu. His sympathizers were holding secret meetings, hoping to prejudice the Prophet, to see his authority in favor of Taimu. The Prophet, however, was unmoved. When Taimu fled and apostated, he traveled to Makkah, where he continued his thieving. It is said that he died there when a wall from an old building collapsed on him. Verse 116, surely Allah forgives not that partners should be ascribed to him. He forgives all save that to whom he pleases. Whosoever ascribes partners to Allah has strayed far indeed. A footnote: this verse and also a number of sayings of the Blessed Prophet on the same subject expound the Muslim doctrine of God's mercy towards all sinners, have only those who were guilty of the greatest sin of all, polytheism and idolatry. If a man or woman dies with faith, he may be punished for his sins, or because of his good deeds he may be saved, or Almighty God may forgive him absolutely. Believers may spend some time in hellfire before they are purged of their sin and impurities and are admitted into the garden by God's grace, but believers will never have this but disbelievers will never have this chance. Okay, that's worth noting. Page 96, footnote, believers do, now not all, but may spend some time in hellfire. Oh, believers do get purged of sins in hellfire. A few are forgiven and no hell. Alrighty. Verse 117, the idolater, in parentheses, call upon female deities, but they call upon no one but Satan, the persistent rebel. A footnote. To pray and to ask certain things from Allah is a noble and necessary part of servanthood to Him, but to ask from deities apart from Him is the worst of all crimes. It is shirk or polytheism. Verse 118, whom Allah cursed, and He said, surely I will take of your slaves an appointed portion, and surely I will lead them astray, and surely I will arouse desires in them, and surely I will command them, and they will not, and they will cut the cattle's ears, and surely I will command them, and they will change Allah's creation. Whosoever chooses Satan for a friend instead of Allah is assuredly a loser, and his loss is manifest. We have 9:03 p.m. here at the KXVS.org. I'm going to share a footnote. To change the creatures of Allah from their natural way by unnecessarily cutting some part of their bodies or marking them or burning or branding them is not allowed in Islam. Instead, the teaching of the Blessed Prophet was that man should be kind to animals and would be called to account for his treatment of them. Pagan or magical practices then involved cruelty to animals, and in this case, it became especially hideous. Neither it is permitted for human beings to mutilate themselves, for they are thereby tampering with God's creation and the repository of His trust. There you go. There you go. Some of you might object to that, but sounds good to me. Let's do an engineering check over here. Make sure everything is still operating. The screens go dark if you're not using them like your home computer, and I need to see to it, oh my, that things are continuing to roll. So I do a little stroll across the, come on, okay, all right, things are going good. 9:04 here at KXVS.org. We're in Surah 4 in the glorious Quran, 1991 translation, and ninth rewrite, 9th edition. Only minor rewrites, very small, if at all. Okay. Verse 120, Satan makes them promises and stirs in them false desires, but when Satan promises them is nothing but beguilement. For such their dwelling place will be in hell, from which they will find no refuge. Verse 122, but as for those who believe and do good works, we shall bring them into gardens beneath which rivers flow, wherein they will abide forever. It is a promise from Allah in truth, and who can be more grateful than Allah in utterance? It will not be in accordance with your desires, nor the desires of the people of the Scripture. He who does wrong will have the recompense thereof, and will not find against Allah any protecting friend or helper. And whosoever does good works, whether male or female, and is a believer, such will enter the gardens, and they will not be wronged too much as at the spot on a date stone. Well, that's pretty clear right there and worth noting. Verse 124, do good, believe, go to paradise. Okay, continuing. In this verse, footnote, Almighty God proclaims that man's worth is according to his deeds, not his wealth, status, or gender. Hence, in Islamic teaching, no one may pass judgment against another, for the only object of judgment is what lies in the heart, which is visible only to the Lord. The next verse continues the theme. Verse 125, who can be better in religion than one who surrenders himself to Allah, does good, and follows the way of Abraham, the upright in faith? Allah himself chose Abraham as a friend. Footnote, although the prophets of Allah are all messengers and are all the same in terms of general function, they have been sent in widely differing cultures and spiritual conditions. It is that their inner reality has differing aspects. For example, the prophet Moses is called Kalimullah, the speaker of Allah, because he spoke with Allah on Sinai. Similarly, the prophet Jesus is called Rasulullah, the spirit of Allah, because Allah knew his spirit into him, blew his spirit into him. And the prophet Muhammad is Halbullah, the beloved of Allah, for he was loved by Allah more even than the other prophets, and because he is the way of love. Oh my. 97. And footnote, prophets, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, and their Arab God names. Okay. 126. To Allah belongs whatsoever is in the heavens and the earth, It is Allah that encompasses all things. They consult with you concerning women. Say, Allah gives you the desire concerning them, and the scriptures which has been recited to you gives decrees concerning female orphans, to which you give not that which is ordained for them through your desire to marry them, and concerning the weak among children, and that you should deal jointly with orphans. Whatever good you do, surely Allah is well acquainted with it. If a woman fears ill treatment from her husband or desertion, it is no sin for the two of them if they make terms of peace between themselves. Peace is better, but greed has been made present in the mind of men. If you do good and keep from evil, surely Allah is well acquainted of what you do. A footnote: in order to work, marriage must be worked at by both partners, who must be prepared to make the necessary sacrifices, although, as the verse teaches, to be greedy is innate in men, so that they expect the other party to make the sacrifice. Peace can only be attained by the efforts of both parties in the union. Peace is, after all, better than pride. That's Islamic teaching, folks, right here. You will never be able to deal equally between your wives, however much you may desire to do so, but incline not altogether away from one wife's, leaving her as though suspended. If you do good and keep from evil, surely Allah is ever forgiving, merciful. Footnote: a man who has entered upon a plural marriage is obliged both ethically and a law to treat them equally. Of course, this is hard to achieve all the time, for it is natural to love one more than the other, or to be unhappy with certain traits in one or more of one's wives, in one or more of one's wives. A happy polygamous relationship demands even more sacrifice than a monogamous one. That the law has intervened, demanding equal treatment as much as this can be assured by law, housekeeping, allocations, the kind of accommodation, food, and other normal accoutrements of life must be divided in an equal basis between the co-wives. Verse 130, but if they, the couple, separate, Allah will compensate each out of his abundance. Allah is ever all-embracing, all-knowing. Footnote: if a marriage is not working out despite all efforts and precautions, and the home has become a kind of hell, the couple shall separate and not live in that condition. Fear of poverty or a lack of resources or savings should not prevent the couple from separation. Allah will provide for each of them from His infinite kindness. Verse 131, to Allah belongs whatsoever is in the heavens and the earth, and we charged those who reserved the scriptures before you and charge you to have fear of Allah, and if you disbelieve, surely in Allah belongs whatsoever is in heaven and earth. Allah is ever rich, praiseworthy. To Allah belongs whatsoever is in the heavens, the earth, and Allah is sufficient as trustee. If He will, He can destroy you, O mankind, and produce others instead of you. Allah is able to do that. A footnote. Eternity and absoluteness are attributes only present in Allah. The very existence of man depends on His grace and mercy. If man betrays his trust and disobeys Him, His blessings are likely to be withdrawn from him, and he may be destroyed and replaced with others more worthy of God's earth. 134. Whoso desires the reward of the world, for him let him know that with Allah is the reward of the world and the hereafter, and Allah is ever hearer, seer. Okay, it's going to be going to page 99. Let me do an engineering check here. Look to have 9:20 p.m. here at KXVS.org. And looks like we got a freeze on the XSplit. Yeah, there we go. I'm having to switch back and forth there. Going to check the Audition computer. Yeah, things are going good there. And auto detect analog. Oh no. Ah! Something happened on the XSplit. Oh, okay. I hope, yeah, it looks to be going okay. All righty, 9:20 at KXVS.org. And back over here, going to page 99 in the glorious Quran, sharing with you this evening, Surah 4, came forth 626 Amani Deo in Medina from Muhammad ibn Abdullah. O yes, who believe, O you who believe, stand out firmly for justice as witnesses to Allah, even though it be against yourselves or your parents, or your kindred, and whether it be against rich or poor, for Allah is near to both that you are. So follow not caprice lest you lapse from truth, and if you lapse or fall away, then surely Allah is ever informed of what you do. In the above verse, footnote, mankind is warned not to deviate from justice, whether for economic, social, psychological, or other reasons. When dispensing justice, men must remember that his is the enemy of Allah, that who is the just. Yeah. Okay. O you who believe, believe in Allah and His Messenger and the scriptures which He has revealed to His Messenger and the scriptures which He revealed before you. Whosoever disbelieves in Allah and His angels and His scriptures and His messengers and the last day is assuredly has gone far astray. To His messenger and the scriptures He revealed before you. Oh, okay. 137. Okay, now that lends a little credibility to previous scriptures. Kind of a gray area. I'll leave it at that. Those who believe then reject faith and then again believe, then reject faith, and then increase in disbelief, Allah will never pardon them, nor will He guide them unto a way. Thus does the Lord, this is a footnote, characterize those whose faith wavers with changing fortunes of the believers. Such hypocrites, for that is what they are, will eventually be expelled from faith definitively and shall wander forever in misguidance. And maybe not so much hypocrites, but weak believers, marginal believers. Okay. There were a lot of verses here on treating women well, and I'll make note of those. 124. Okay. And, okay, 125 to 137. Follow scriptures. Women get justice in marriage. Hypocrites fall away. That kind of summarizes what we just been going through here. 138. Give the hypocrites the tidings that for them there is a grievous penalty. Those who choose disbelievers for their friends instead of believers, do they seek honor among them? Surely all honor belongs to Allah. He, Allah, has already revealed to you in the scriptures that when you hear the revelations of Allah rejected and ridiculed, you are not with them until they engage in some other conversation. If you did remain with them, you would be like them. Surely Allah will gather hypocrites and disbelievers all together in hell. When we hear, a footnote, when we hear truth held in low esteem, we sought to protest and withdraw from such company, not out of arrogance, as if we thought ourselves superior as other people, but out of real humility, lest our own nature be corrupted in such company. It is possible that our protest or sincere reproach will change the subject under discussion. In that case, we have done good to those who inclined to belittle truth, if we have saved them from ridiculing it. Wow. This implies Muslims and non-believers, as well as Jews or Christians, with people are rather might be hostile to what does it amount to similar teachings, and and the moral and how you conduct yourself in general. And the believers are to be humble here and in other faiths. So that's what and they follow, and they'll stand up for truth, and the people standing against the truths and the wisdom, well, they'd probably do it against Judaism or Christianity as well, similarities. Because they come from a pagan perspective, idolatrous perspective. And going on to 141, those who wait and seek you and watch you closely, if a victory comes to you from Allah, they say, are we not with you? And if the disbelievers meet with a success, they say, had we not gained advantage over you, and did we not protect you from the believers? Allah will judge between you at the day of judgment, and Allah will not give the disbelievers any way of success against the believers. Oh. 41. God will not allow for success over believers by disbelievers. That's faith. The hypocrites seek to deceive Allah, but it is Allah who deceives them. When they stand up to pray, they stand up lazily, and to be seen of men, and remember Allah only a little. Wavering between this and that, belonging neither to those these or those, he whom Allah has left to go astray, you will not find any way for him. O you who believe, choose not disbelievers for friends rather than believers. Would you wish to offer Allah an open proof against yourselves? 141 through 144. Okay, through 144, choose believers for friends, keeps one close to Allah. The Holy Quran emphasizes an eternal, on several occasions, the risk involved in taking friends among unbelievers other than one's co-religionists. To associate affectionately with people as to become one of them and to acquire something of their will form, self-form. Those who have rejected Islam, whatsoever they may say to one's face, have chosen to reject the underpinnings of one's moral and spiritual life, and it is unreasonable to expect them to be sincere friends. Oh my, okay. Moral and spiritual life, okay. Moral and spiritual life. Enhanced with believers. Yeah. And the reverse, when you're not around believers, it's reduced. Surely the hypocrites will be in the lowest deep of the fire, and you will find no helper for them. That was verse 145. Except those who repent and amend, and hold fast to Allah, and to make their religion pure for Allah only. Those are with the believers, and Allah will bestow on the believers a reward manifest. Or, magnificent. So a footnote. So even hypocrites can attain forgiveness on 4 conditions. 1, sincere repentance, which purifies their minds. 2, amendment of their conduct, which purifies the outer life. Steadfastness and devotion to Allah, which strengthens their faith and presents them from onslaughts of evil. And 4, sincerely in their religion, or their whole inner being, which receives them in full members of the global brotherhood of faith. Verse 147, why should Allah punish you if you render thanks to Him and truly believe in Him? It is Allah that is recognizer of all your good actions and knower of all things. Allah, okay, footnote. Allah, the exalted, can gain nothing by punishing his creatures over whom he watches with affection and concern. To the contrary, he recognizes any good, however little, which he finds in us and gives us a reward beyond all measure. He recognizes of us in compound by a bold metaphor to our gratitude to him for his favors. The epithet Shakur is applied here to Allah as at Surah 2, verse 158 and elsewhere. Also at Surah 16, verse 121. It is applied to Abraham, who had showed himself grateful. Allah too can be shakur in spite of his absolute independence of us. Allah loves not the utterance of harsh words except by one who has been wronged. Allah is ever hearer, knower. Footnote, harsh words spoken against others are a breach of the ethics of Islam. Yet for those who have been wronged and who can only hope to effect redress or remonstrance from, there is a dispensation. It is not an insult or an evil slander to criticize vocally one who has done wrong. For instance, in a court of law, criticism of others can be not only permissible, but required. If you do good openly to keep it secret or forgive evil, surely Allah is forgiving, powerful. Oh my. Getting verse 150. Those who disbelieve in Allah and his messengers and who seek to make distinction between Allah and his messengers and say, we believe in some and disbelieve in others, and seek to choose a way between them. Ooh, that don't sound too good. Such are disbelievers in truth, and for disbelievers we prepare a humiliating punishment. Yeah, either you take it all or none. Yep. Okay, that's clear. Can't blue pencil. Verse 152. I'll close. But those who believe in Allah and his messengers and make no distinction between any of them, to them Allah will soon give their due rewards. And Allah was ever forgiving, merciful. The people of the Scriptures ask of you that you should cause an actual book to descend upon them from heaven. They ask a greater thing, miracle of Moses aforetime, for they said, show us Allah plainly. The storm of lightning seized them for their wickedness. Yet they worshipped the call even after clear signs had come to them, and even as we forgive them that, and we bestowed on Moses a clear authority. And we caused the Mount of Sinai to tower above them at the taking of their covenant, and we bade them enter the gate prostrate, and we made them transgress not the Sabbath, and we took from them a firm covenant. Footnote, during the time of the prophet Muhammad, the Jews and the Christians demanded many miracles from him. Even though many miracles were in fact showed them, many still rejected the faith. But as this passage points out, thus had been the case with the people of Moses long before. Okay, this is a colorful one. Verse 154. Mount Sinai suspended Sinai Mount Sinai to tower above them, pulled up from the ground, pulled up from the ground and hung over them. Ooh. All righty. That's, we got 9:45 here at KXVS.org, and we covered from verse 105 to verse 154, and put a stop there. And next week we'll be getting back, our next show, we'll be back at page 102, verse 155, and yep, that's 2.5 more pages to 4 more pages in this translation on Surah 4 with the footnotes, and then we'll be going to a different translations to share. About 50 years apart in translation, 40 years apart, so different English idioms, you know, get a slightly different look at it. And with that, gonna say have a good evening. Those of you who've been listening in and watching, sure do appreciate it. This has been the Sunday Evening Islam Show with your host, Richard Slezak, coming to you over KXVS.org from the John Moriarty studio to you. Thanks for the enlightenment, and hey, hope I enlightened you, and do take care. Bye. Maybe not enlightening, but informing. So, although I'm a Christian, and that stuff ain't all bad. You know, that's, no. Do I believe it? Well, yeah, the place names, those are facts. You know, people come up to you, oh, I don't believe the Quran. Well, there's place names there. You don't have a choice on the place names. Those are facts. You know, I've had people come up to me, oh, I don't believe the Bible at all. It's got place names in it. Those are facts. You can't reject, you reject those, you're rejecting facts, you're the weird one. So, you know, be respectful towards somebody's holy writ. There is wisdom there. There's wisdom in the Quran. There's things you might not agree with, but there's justice there. So it has been adopted into other laws. It is considered, and it is a just path. Not all of it, but there is, and it's to be, consider it. If you yourself are seeking justice, for yourself and others in society in general. All righty. To those of you on Facebook, is it still? Yeah, it's webcasting. So thanks for tuning in. Let me get in front of one of the cameras here. Well, hey, looks like I got one. All righty. Thanks for watching. Let me do a tune out here.